What's going on, guys? It's Brendan from Market Makers. I know a lot of you watch because of these brilliant shirts that I wear, or perhaps to see what I'm doing with my facial here this particular week. But I had to break out the 1997 Ocean Pacific Neon Hawaiian shirt for this one, guys, because you guys got this pattern weeks ago from me. We've been talking about it in this dull, boring, sideways accumulation, tight volatility compression, and boom, did we break out. So I have to apologize because, as you guys know, the target was 19,153 and we got to 19,1 here on BITGET. So I will try to do better next time to get you closer than $53 for the actual target on a $19,000 asset. But that's what we do here, guys. Trade with patterns. The market moves in patterns. And we're going to review if we have any more upside left in Bitcoin, what the markets did, the CPI report that came out, all of the good stuff, my friends. Guys, if you want to support this channel, check out our Discord. The link's in the video description. If you want to come trade with us, be with a fantastic community, 13,000 people there on the server. And you can check out our links, BitGet to trade all the cryptos, SimpleFX to trade equities, commodities, and Forex, and a handful of cryptos. The links, the information, all in the video description, guys, including the Twitter. All right, so what did we do today? So the CPI came out 0.1% lower for headline. Markets kind of had like a delayed reaction. It was really interesting today. The markets had a delayed reaction. The markets rallied. Bitcoin sat there at the 18.3. We'll come back to this pattern. Let's go backwards a little bit to the channel. Bitcoin sat here right at resistance, 18,411. It tapped it before the report, came back down, and then it shot up through it. So what I told the Discord I was doing, I was laddering here. So I added a little bit of the trade here at the channel, and then we broke up. So now I'm filling my trade more, and I'm laddering into the short. Again, this all has to do with how you view the market. If you think the market's going to new highs, then you wouldn't be shorting right now. I believe the market will begin to sell off in the very near future. If not tomorrow, then probably next week. Okay, so that's why I'm looking at tops at peak resistance for the marketplace, because I think the market will be coming down for the spring equinox late March, early April. So this is what we got to here on the channel. We finally pumped up in a delayed reaction. This is my golden pyramid we had if we had an overspill target. Let's see if we have any more ability to move up. Looking at the MFI here in a large time frame, guys, this is the daily time frame. You hit overbought for the first time since the run up to the all-time high. You finally got overbought again on the daily time frame. So could this go up more? Yeah, it can. It's just an indicator, okay? You're pretty much maxed out. I think you're at 95, but you're pretty much maxed out. Remember, this is a volume-weighted RSI. Could we go up more? Well, we could definitely come and hit the 19,186, which we haven't tapped yet. And we did hit our VWAP, as you can see in the Caterpillar. And we did get our expansion of our inner channel. But remember, what I'm looking for here, guys, is this move. And I know the Caterpillar is noisy because it's 3 Bollinger Bands. But I'm looking for this move here when TradingView comes back. Come on. All right. There we go. Cooperate. Let's go. There we go. Looking for this move. We had the move up. Now I'm looking for that move down. Remember, last time we did this, okay? Last time we did this move, the move before the move, we rallied up 18% and then dumped 28%, okay? So this is the move I'm looking for. Here's our rally. Now, if we top out here in our quadrant, let's go ahead and look at the other chart for this. If we top out here in our quadrant, right between 19.1 and 19.5. Why that particular quadrant? Once again, because the 200 is right here, okay? So add it to my short here. If we pump up to the 200, adding to it again. I figured this was the best way to deal with it, not knowing what the CPI number would be. This is what I communicated as well to our Discord. And, you know, this is something I think is going to play out very favorably if we even come up anymore, which we could, but we may not. Last CPI, which came in low, December 13th, Bitcoin went up that day and the following day and then sold off hard. Equities whipsawed the same day. The equities made it through the day. So maybe tomorrow's a little bit follow through, or maybe tomorrow they start to sell off and top out. So we're going to have to watch that. We don't know because we don't have candles yet, guys. So everything went parabolic. The narrative is inflation's coming down, euphoria in the marketplace. But guys, the bear market is very real. The trend is a primary trend is down. So this is something I think we're just going to continue to sell off. So what I would do is if this does come back up, I'm adding to my short. Well, I already did here at 19,153. But if we come up to the next quadrant, 19.5, that's my other target with the 200. Okay. And at that point, I'm done filling my trade. If it goes up more, I'm just holding on with my stop loss. And if it comes down, then I'm happy. So we'll see what happens with that, guys. We're going to keep continuing to go through the charts here. MFI is oversold, so overbought. So this should start pulling back down. When you look at this on the 8-hour, let's go to the 4-hour because 8 hours not enough candles. 4-hour, at least we got a few candles. So 4-hour time frame, you're already building bearish divergence down here on the MFI. You see this? So you have your high in the MFI, money flow index, okay? You have your high down here prior to the pump. The whole pump was divergent with the MFI. Higher highs in price, lower highs in MFI. And actually the biggest pump candle was actually a down angle on the MFI. I think this, I mean, again, this is only 2 candles, guys. It's only 2 candles, but it's a medium-sized time frame. If it holds this level, is 18,946, which I have from a previous Wyckoff here, apparently. Yeah, it was the base of a previous Wyckoff. So if it holds this level, you know, look for some type of structure or top to be built. And you can see here, by the way, here on the 4-hour time frame, to give you a visual representation of the last CPI, which remember came in even lower than expectations, deeper than today, as a matter of fact. Here's your CPI, December 13th. These are 4-hour candles. So December 13th, right here on the cursor. Let me expand that just a little bit so you guys can see it. And we ran up. There's your pump. That's the day of. And then this is the next day, okay? December 14th, look what Bitcoin did. Spiked up, sold off hard. Look at that, okay? So here we are. Here's our pump. Today, we got a doji here on the 4-hour time frame. Tomorrow, will we have that spike up to hit the 200? Or are we just not going to touch the 200 for another 6 months? But we'll see if that happens, if we go from 18.8 to 19.5, or if we just start this pattern here, which is the sell-off, okay? So either one. I mean, to me, it's a coin flip, to be honest. Like I said, it's hard for me to believe that you get to 19.2 and don't try to 200. But, you know, stranger things have happened. It really depends what happens with the equity markets. So speaking of which, let's look at the equities. We don't need to look at that chart because we've looked at the weekly. The daily is more interesting. The S&P did not close above 4,000. Remember, I gave these targets and we discussed my reasoning for these targets, even though we didn't know exactly what the CPI number would be. I told you this is going to happen, 4,000, right? You got to 4,000. You actually got to 4,001. So there you go. I got you within 1.8 points. So you got to 4,000. You split the 200, 233, but the S&P just couldn't get enough juice cooking here. And again, the last CPI is this big wick candle here. Okay, this is what you did last time, and then look what happened starting the next day after the CPI. Will we see a repeat, or will we see a follow through? That's what we really need to see. And if we look at our MFI on the S&P, it is approaching overbought, which again, the MFI on a lot of these indexes on the daily time frame hasn't hit overbought in months and months and months. In this case, a very long time, going all the way back. I mean, here's April 2022. Look at that. So you're at this level, that very close to this level that you've been to, and all these different peaks for these big moves. So looking at your volume momentum, dropped off. So again, this looks toppy, okay? It looks very toppy. 4,000 is a big psychological number. So this, I'm looking to see if this is going to retrace, top out here, maybe get above 4,000 tomorrow, then come back down again. But again, guys, it's just part of my narrative of what I think is going to happen. I don't envision this being a bullish move up into the current economic conditions that we have. Looking at the Russell did fairly well here. I got in a short at 1860 on the Russell. Again, prior to the CPI, just like in my videos, we talked about the 1850 to, well, here you had 1867 here on the fib that you got above. Here's your weekly 50, okay? Got in at 1860. Happy with this, $14 down here. You know, I think the Russell, obviously, look, here's the thing with these indices, right? if the S&P tops out, if the Nasdaq tops out and they come down, the Russell's coming down too. Maybe not, candle for candle, but it's not going to pump up and everything falls apart. It's kind of like Bitcoin. Yes, you can have individual altcoins that can go up and Bitcoin goes down, but overall, the S&P is going to move the market, and the S&P looks very toppy. You're approaching your key range here of where you've previously topped out, as you can see. Did get above the 50 here on the weekly candle, not closed obviously, and then this is where you are on the daily time frame. So daily time frame, we have this 618 here from a wave projection. We got overbought here on the 4-hour time frame. We got overbought in the 4-hour time frame. 618 is right here at 1881. And again, this is a key resistance area. We got above it, made a double top of the 4-hour time frame. Got above it. This is that last CPI right here. So you're getting almost to the same level you were at in the last CPI. Look at the big red candle, then the sell-off, okay? Let's go ahead and flip this to the daily. I think this was a daily chart. I must have been watching this with the markets. Here we go on the daily. So daily time frame. Looking at this with the trend-based fib, everything else, fib retracement wave here, 618 to 1881. We'll see if we just strike this. As you can see, lots of supplies. This is a supply zone up here for failures. So if we strike this tomorrow, I do expect retracement. Got our nice pivot out of here in this mini cough structure, as you can see. Got above the 200. Now, this will vary asset to asset, but the Russell gets above the 200 quite often, as you can see, for individual candle moves, and then eventually fails. Okay, again, daily 200 long-term trend. Did it over here as well. We're above it here again, so we'll see if this holds up. I do expect it to get toppy and then to start to fall apart. Key note here, once again, your trend up. You see your trend up? Look at the increase in volume. Look at your trend up here, the decrease in volume left to right, okay? You have accelerated volume going left to right up, accelerated volume. I guess I can draw this. You have volume going up on your sell-off here is what I'm trying to say. This is your sell-off, obviously, from here to here. And then from here, left to right, guys, left to right on your chart, volume is decreasing. Specifically, this last leg here, look at this. Bunch of negligible below average volume. Price falls down, and then you're still below volume from this last rise up. So this is a volume divergent rally. MFI is pumping up to an area where it has topped out previously multiple times going back to August 2022. Okay, and this gave you this top just from the MFI at this level. So I expect this to start reversing. I think, like I said, if tomorrow isn't flat or selling off, then I expect this to maybe go into next week. So we'll see what happens with all of that. And let's go ahead and jump forward to the Nasdaq on the weekly. Nasdaq on the weekly did exactly what we thought it would do, got up to the 200, right? I told you your target was a 618, 11,561. You didn't get to it. You got just shy of it. There's your 200. Let's go forward to the Nasdaq on the daily and the 618, 11,561. As you can see, Nasdaq got a little bit of supply dumped on it here. Again, this is like a tight little double bottom here on the daily, and you got above the 50. This could start rolling over. If Nasdaq is just overall weak, again, a euphoric day, lower CPI. And something to understand about the CPI, guys, is the CPI itself is still inflation increasing. It's the speed of inflation increasing is coming down. In other words, it's also compounding. Okay, so when you say inflation's down 1/10%, which is what it came down, it's still up. It's still up 6.5% or 6.4%. And then last month it was up whatever it was, 7.1%. And the month before that it was up. So this is compounding on top of it. So the prices of things are not going down as inflation rises, and it's just going to overall damage the markets. And I like I said, I anticipate, and it's just my view of the markets, but a lot of people, I guess some people definitely share this view. Many people don't. Some people are still putting out 100K Bitcoin videos, but I think everything will be pulling down towards a spring equinox. Looks very toppy. I'd watch the 618 tomorrow, 11,561. See if you get to that or just start rolling over, okay? And if you start rolling over, you got to watch your bottoms from whence you came. But overall, if this does top out here, just basic TA, you have your initial entry here into accumulation of Wyckoff, your breakout on top of the structure, then you have your high, and then you have your low, and this would be your lower high if this does roll over back beneath the 50, and you may get some type of double top type action here on the daily time frame that plays out, that you see over and over again here on these indices, especially in the daily. Okay, let's go ahead and look at gold. Did gold do anything? Yeah, it moved up a little bit like we said it could do with the markets. You're still between a 707, 786. Not interested in anything on gold yet as far as a trade because it's very volume divergent, but the price is still rising. Good for people that have metals, including me. This may be your top here at 1916 if it can get to that 786 fib 3-day chart on gold, okay? But I anticipate this rolling over with the markets. Looking at silver, I did look at trades here on silver. I like the MFI. It hit overbought, came back down. Looks like it's coming up for double top. So I like this trend line. The trend line that has provided a top in silver going back to May of 2021. You can see it got hit. We rolled over here in the 3-day chart. If we roll back up close to that 24.41, that looks like a good entry point with confluence with the markets, right? Again, don't do anything. I wouldn't do anything because none of this is financial advice. This is entertainment, guys, but I wouldn't do anything if the markets are moving up and silver does touch this trend line. But if the markets are going down and silver gets back up to this fib, the 786 at 24.41, that's a potential entry there for silver. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. A fun and hectic, crazy day. And but definitely consider checking out our room, guys. Really do appreciate your support. And I'll talk to you guys next video. Looks like it's going to be Sunday kickoff show. Everybody happy trading. Watch for the markets to see if they start giving up tomorrow, if they can hold their breath till Monday. Take care, everybody.